Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the last time we have discussed solitary nodule. So again we recap the previous lecture, then we'll start the next. So we have discussed the solitary nodules and what is the difference between the two nodules. So as you know, solitary nodule is the only the single nodule, and the dominant nodule is one of the part of the multinodular goiter. You can say solitary nodule is a different entity. It is a different entity, and the multiple nodules, if they are smaller in size, and among them one is the dominant, that is the dominant. So this is the part of the multinodular goiters. And solitary is as entity. The all other thyroid gland is normal, but in multinodular there are other nodules. They are also present. In the solitary nodules, the other is not enlarged. The thyroid is not enlarged. Only one swelling is present there. So up till now, we have evaluated this patient with the fine needle aspiration cytology. So we discussed we can make the diagnosis on the FNAC in certain malignancies of the thyroid gland, except one. So the exception is only the follicular carcinoma. Follicular carcinoma cannot be diagnosed on the FNAC. For making the diagnosis of the follicular carcinoma, at least you need a tissue. For taking the tissue, you need a certain amount of the thyroid gland. So that's why you first go for the lobectomy and hysterectomy, or if the frozen section facility is available, again you will not take a small part, you will remove the whole lobe on one side. The only difference between the frozen section biopsy and the conventional biopsy is, so the frozen section biopsy will come within 15 minutes. So at the same time, if you find it is a malignant condition, you will go for the total thyroidectomy. You will also remove the other part of the thyroid gland. But in conventional, you send the report, you close the patients, and the after the recovery of the patient, 7, 8 days or 10 days, the report comes the malignancy. If at this time the malignancy report comes, and then again you have to go for the total thyroidectomy. If the report is only benign, so that is you have your purpose is solved. You have done only the lobectomy and hysterectomy. Now, what decision need be made in the operating room regarding each of the following cancers? As we have discussed, a different type of the cancer: papillary carcinoma, follicular carcinoma, anaplastic, medullary, and the lymphomas. Supposedly, your report comes as a papillary carcinoma. Now you are managing as a case of papillary carcinoma. Your FNAC report shows this is the papillary carcinoma. So and now you are going to operate this patient. So what is the suspicion? What is in your mind? So how you will manage this patient in the room? So usually the peak incidence of such cancer is among the 30 to 40. So this is the young age tumor, papillary carcinoma. Approximately 5% patient present with the distant spread at the time of diagnosis. So this distant spread is also in the lymph nodes. Usually these lymph nodes they are present, otherwise the distant metastasis. So the metastasis in the bone, in the liver, in the lungs, in the brain, anywhere they can present. Now, if the lesion is less than 1 centimeter on the ultrasonography, as the preoperatively you know, and on the FNSC you know it is papillary carcinoma. So this group is divided in two groups. If the size is with the 1 centimeter, so 1 centimeter size, if there is a history of previous head and neck radiations, patient has a history in your, there is a history of radiation. As we have discussed, radiation is one of the risk factor. So this risk factor can cause the problem. So uh, it is notorious for the papillary carcinoma. Then you will go for the total thyroidectomy. Definitely, you will go for the total thyroidectomy in such patient. And the other, the patient who had not radiations, who can undergo the limited thyroid lobectomy and hysterectomy. So this management is also used if the size is very small, up to the 1 centimeter, and there is no risk factor. You just remove the right lobe and the hysterectomy of the patient. So this is one indication in the papillary carcinoma you can go. But there are certain advantage and disadvantage of such a management. The problem with the papillary carcinoma is multicentric. Supposedly, if there is a papillary carcinoma on the one side, there may be a chances of very small size of the mets. Even there is only one uh, tissue that is involved in the other lobes. So they are a multicentric. If they are multicentric, if you perform the lobectomy and hysterectomy of this side, so it will regrow again. So the recurrence will occur on the other sides. So that's why if you perform the total thyroidectomy, your purpose is solved. The patient is safe. So in future, the patient will not get a recurrence or the malignancy in this condition. So that's why this is the feature of the multicentricity of the papillary carcinoma. So that's why you go for the total thyroidectomy. So that's why we usually, if the papillary carcinoma, whatsoever the size, if it is a 1 centimeter or more than, so you go for the total thyroidectomy. So in the exam, if you are given scenario, the simply with the papillary carcinoma, the diagnosed case of papillary carcinoma, and you are not given any size or other way, so your choice will be total thyroidectomy. If there is mention 1 centimeter, then option may be a lobectomy and hysterectomy. But with this, if the risk factor is there, shown the radiations, then you will go for the total thyroidectomy. So this is a very important to understand at these levels. So in which patient you will go for the total thyroidectomy, and in which patient you just do the right lobectomy and hysterectomy. But in the discussion at the end, so 90% the surgeon they adopt the total thyroidectomy. It has a many advantages. It allows for the use of the radioactive iodine to localize and treat the local disease or the distant metastasis. You know, the 5% there are chances of the distant metastasis. So to find out the distant metastasis, you needs a certain investigation, like you needs a scan, that is the radioactive scan, iodine scan is needed. And this is the property of the radioactive scan. It will only take the radioactive where the radioactivity of the iodine is taken by. So the majority, the iodine which is present in the body, it is taken by the thyroid gland. So if you perform only right lobectomy and hysterectomy in the patients, and the other tissue is remaining there, you cannot find any distant metastasis in these conditions. Because when you will give the radioactive iodine to the patient to get the distant metastasis for the total body scan, so all the radioactive iodine will be taken up by the remaining thyroid tissue, which is present on the other left side, which has left. We have only performed the right lobectomy. Even the total thyroidectomy is not properly performed. means the residual tissue is remaining there, and it is usually remaining tissue is remained there because you cannot perform the 100% total thyroidectomy in the patient, because if you try to remove all the tissues, so you will remove along with the parathyroid glands. So if you remove the parathyroid, all the four parathyroid gland, even the three parathyroid gland, so the patient has a severe complication in the hypoparathyroidisms. So the for whole life you cannot give the parathyroid hormones to the patient, because the half-life of the parathyroid hormone is a very small, 2 to 3 hours. So every 3 4 hours you have to give an injection of the parathyroids. So that is the worst condition. So in all cases of the thyroidectomies, whenever you perform a thyroidectomy, you save certain tissue along with the area of the parathyroid glands. And the second, so the recurrent nerve nerves and the superior nerve nerves, they are also present. They are attached with the thyroid area. So you have to save the some tissue at these levels. So it means the certain amount of the tissue is remaining there in spite of your clean cut total thyroidectomy. So that's why, so before going the total body scans, you go for the simple scan of the body. So in the simple scan of the body, you will find there is a residual tissue which is present on the neck region, in the thyroid regions. So if the residual tissue is present there, so in the presence of residual tissue, there are less chances to get a good result with the total body scans. So when you will give the radioactive iodine, so it will taken up competently with the thyroid glands. So the distant metastases which are present in the other bones or in the brain area, in the lungs or the other way, especially in the bone area, so they will not take up any radioactive iodine, because there is a competition, the uptake of the radioactive iodine between the thyroid tissue which is present in the neck region and the metastasis. And these metastases also detachment from the thyroid tissue which is lying in the bone or other ways. So that's why they will also take the radioactive iodine, but it will not show due to the competency. So the first you have to ablate the thyroid tissue which is present in the neck regions. So although it is a residual tissue, it may be a more or less. So the thyroid scan will show up how much is the functional tissue is present in the neck regions. So this functional tissue which is present in the neck region, that should be ablated. So the ablation of the tissue is with the radioactive iodine. So that is the therapeutic doses. So we use the diagnostic scan or the therapeutic radioactive iodine. Therapeutic radioactive iodine is usually as a 130, it is the 131, and the diagnostic is 121. So it is slightly lower and it is a higher, and it is a powerful radioactive iodine. So this radioactive iodine will ablate the tissue which is present in the part of the neck regions. So first you ablate. So during this ablation, the only thyroid tissue will be burned out. So this ablation will not has any effect on the recurrent nerves and no effect on the tissue which is present around the parathyroid glands. So it will save the 100% parathyroid glands and the recurrent nerves injury in this condition. It just remove the tissue. So when the total ablation of the thyroid tissue has performed, then you will go for the total body scan. So in this way, you will find out the metastases which are present in these regions. So it means if you just perform the right lobectomy hysterectomy, the other tissue will take radioactive iodine. You cannot find out the metastases. So it means, so the majority surgeon, they are in the favor of the total thyroidectomy, whatever the size of the papillary carcinoma you have diagnosed. So I think it is clear up till now. If any question you can ask, so we can proceed further. यहाँ तक समझ आ गई आप लोगों को?
Sir, what about iodine Radioactive iodine therapy. मतलब,
For the
uh,
carcinoma,
yes.
radioactive iodine is not a good modality for the treatment of the papillary or the follicular carcinoma. There is a huge amount of the tissue which is present in the thyroid glands. So if you want to give this radioactive iodine to the patient, it will take a many years to ablate this area. वहाँ पे टिश्यू बहुत ज़्यादा है, थायराइड पूरा भरा पड़ा है, तो उसमें जितनी आप रेडियो एक्टिव आयोडीन की क्वांटिटी मिकदार आपको बहुत ज़्यादा देनी पड़ेगी, तो वो उसको टाइम भी बहुत लगेगा उसको अबलेशन करने में, तो उसमें वहाँ उसका पेपिलरी कार्सिनोमा फॉलिकुलर में नहीं रोल है. सो द सर्जरी इज़ द बेस्ट इशू. उसमें आके आप सर्जरी के साथ बड़ी आसानी के साथ यू कैन रिमूव ऑल द टिश्यूज, बट देयर आर सर्टेन इंडिकेशन वी विल डिस्कस in the thyroid cancers like anaplastic which cannot be operated, so they are attached
Mm-hmm.
with the surgical tissue. जी क्वेश्चन आपका.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
हाँ जी. सो दी मल्टी सेंट्रिसिटी, अगर मल्टी सेंट्रिक पड़ा हुआ है पेपिलरी में, so it will ablate, but the only the problem with the ablation is, so it cannot with the time period it can ablate also, it will take so many years. so उस टाइम पीरियड में जो ट्यूमर है ज़्यादा ग्रो भी कर जाएगा और कम्प्लीटली क्योर नहीं होगा. तो सर्जरी एक बेस्ट ऑप्शन है. आपने रेडियो एक्टिव आयोडीन अब्लेशन सिर्फ उसकी डायग्नोस्टिक के लिए आपने यूज़ करनी है, एज ए ट्रीटमेंट क्योर के लिए यूज़ नहीं करनी. So the presence of normal thyroid tissue affects, as we have discussed, the radioiodine to localize in the residual cancer. ये हमने डिस्कस कर लिया. नेक्स्ट वी गो. आफ्टर टोटल थायरॉइडेक्टमी, thyroglobulin levels can be used as a tumor marker for the persistence of the recurrent disease. So the thyroglobulin is our tumor marker, which is used for the uh, papillary and the follicular carcinoma. So if after total ablation or other way, you can perform first the thyroglobulin level, it is used as a marker, tumor marker. If it is persistently present after surgery, so it means there is a certain residual tissue is present there. So if certain residual tissue is present there, you can go for the ablation therapy again. And it is also used marker as a follow-up of the patients. Supposedly you have operated the patient 2 or 3 years before, and now you want the is there recurrence has occurred or other way, you go for the thyroglobulin level. If it has increased, so it means the recurrence of the disease has occurred. Then you go for the total body scan. Then the next problem which occurs with this papillary carcinoma is the lymph nodes. So the size of the lymph nodes may be a different, and the which group of the lymph node is involved, they may be different in different patients. So this nodal excision usually in the central compartment of the lymph nodes dissection or the compartmental lymph node dissection should be performed for clinically positive lymph nodes. So the clinically positive lymph nodes means if there is a papillary carcinoma which is diagnosed on the fine needle aspiration cytology, at the same time we find ultrasound of the neck and there is a lymph node that is enlarged. If it is so enlarged clinically, it is palpable and you see it is a hard inconsistency and it fixed. So it means clinically it looks it is a positive lymph nodes. And other conditions, you can go for the fine needle aspiration with the ultrasound guidance. If the metastases are present in the lymph nodes, so definitely this papillary carcinoma has a lymph node enlargement. So here our treatment will be a different. With the, you will go definitely in these conditions when the lymph node is enlarged, total thyroidectomy, and with the dissection of the lymph nodes. So you know there are different ways of the neck dissections. One is the modified neck dissection, and the mainly it is the radical neck dissection. And third one is the functional. Functional is also called berry picking or the cherry picking. So the what is the radical neck dissection? In the radical neck dissections, so the level 1 to 5 lymph node they are removed. So the level 1 is submental and submandibular. It is a one group. And level 2 is the upper jugular lymph nodes. Level 3 is the middle jugular lymph nodes. And level 4 is the inferior jugular. So all these three groups, 2, 2, 3, and 4, they are along the internal jugular vein. And in the posterior triangle, the fifth group is in the posterior. But the sixth group is in the central, which we are talking here. The central compartment is the sixth group. And this sixth group is not included in the radical neck dissection usually. In the radical neck dissection, we go for the 1 to 5, and in modified, you save certain tissues. In the radical, along with the lymph node, you remove the vein, internal vein, you remove the accessory nerve here, the submandibular gland is also removed, the sternocleidomastoid muscle is also removed. But in the functional, the only the lymph node which are present in the center, they are removed. But if the other groups, among the 1 to 5 groups, they are involved, so then you can go for the modified. So in the modified, you remove the lymph node which are involved, along with you have to remove the internal jugular vein. So this is important. So that procedure becomes modified radical neck dissections. But otherwise, rarely you need the radical neck dissection in the papillary carcinomas. So up to 60% of the patient have subclinical metastasis. So the subclinical metastasis, they are not found on the clinical examination, but when you send the specimen of the total thyroidectomy, there are 1 or 2 lymph nodes at the time of the surgery removed, you find there is mets they are present in. But clinically, they were not palpable. We cannot find, even they are subcentric. On the ultrasonography, we couldn't find. So that's why, keeping in mind this subclinical metastasis, in which up to 60% patient they have, so it means the total thyroidectomy is the best option for the papillary carcinoma. तो ये इसके बारे में हमने कर लिया. So the next comes the follicular cancer. So the papillary carcinoma, the benign condition of the papillary is papillary adenomas. So the likewise follicular cancer is one entity, that is the malignancy. And other condition which may be, that is the benign, and it is the follicular adenoma. Adenoma, oma means benign, but not all omas are benign. In certain omas, there may be a malignant like lymphoma. Lymphoma is not a benign condition, even it is the oma at the end. So the follicular adenoma and the follicular cancer are follicular carcinoma. So in the previous lecture, we have discussed how you make your diagnosis of the follicular carcinoma. Because this is the only one cancer which cannot be diagnosed on the FNAC. So if you get the FNAC in this condition, so it will show both conditions. If you go for the FNAC, definitely you go for the FNAC first for the solitary nodules. So after the FNAC, your result will be, it is a follicular neoplasm. So in the neoplasm, the both condition may be present. Either it is a malignancy or it is the benign conditions. So the cell will tell it is follicular neoplasm. So the both condition they are lying, but you have to rule out your malignancy. So in this condition, you need biopsy of the tissue. Biopsy. So for the biopsy, you need a certain tissue. So for that purpose, in the follicular cancer, you go for the lobectomy and hysterectomy. It means you remove the one side of the thyroid where the this solitary nodule is present, and you have complete your procedure. After completion your procedure, you send this report specimen to the pathologist, and report comes it is the malignant condition. It is the follicular carcinoma. Now what will you do? This is the one situation. And the other happily good situation is it is the follicular adenoma. So the follicular adenoma means it is the benign condition. If it is turned to be follicular adenoma, so it means you have completed your surgery. There is no further surgery is needed in this patient. You have completed your procedures. But if the report comes follicular cancer in these conditions after lobectomy, hysterectomy, now you will go for the second surgery. So this second surgery is called complete total thyroidectomy. This is called completion thyroidectomy. Now in the second stage, you are going to complete the thyroidectomy. So this is different from the total thyroidectomy. Total thyroidectomy is the first operation which is performed in a one anesthesia. And this is the completion is the after getting the report, you go the second go and you complete the thyroidectomy. And usually it is performed by the once the cancer has come on the one side. Even in the papillary, you think it is less than 1 centimeter, you go for the lobectomy and hysterectomy, or your report is not uh, deceiving in the initial, and you do the lobectomy and hysterectomy, or in the lobectomy and hysterectomy, you find it is a papillary carcinoma. Again, you will go for the complete thyroidectomy. But in the follicular, definitely you will go for the complete total thyroidectomy in this case. So these cancers are less again in the papillary. Papillary is the most common. So they are 15 to 20% cancer and more prevalent in the iodine deficient areas. So the patient which are iodine deficient, you know, when there is a iodine deficiency, usually these patients present first with the colloid cyst and later on the multiple lymph node they becomes MNG. So very large size MNG, and this MNG can get the different complications. It looks ugly and it has a hyperthyroidism. It has a pressure effect, but it can convert into the cancer. Now in the MNG, which cancer occurs? So this is the follicular cancer which occurs in these conditions. So it means the iodine deficiency is one of the risk factor for the follicular cancer. If the long-standing MNG is present there, then later on there are chances of the malignancy can occur in these cases. So whenever you find cases of the thyroid, so you have to first rule the malignancy. You think about in the follow of the patient, they can get a malignancy. In the physiological goiter, that is a different situation. But if the initial stage is the physiological goiter, they are not treated with the thyroxine and they are not responding, and they convert into the multinodular goiter, and the later on the follow-up must, because the later on they can get a malignancy. So 20% chances are the follicular cancers in the patients. So the peak incidence is 40 to 50 years age in the follicular cancer. The formal first, as we have discussed, we go for the lobectomy and hysterectomy for making the diagnosis. Lobectomy, hysterectomy is not the treatment of follicular cancer. Be careful, keep in mind. Lobectomy, hysterectomy is not the treatment, not the procedure of choice for the follicular cancer. it is only for diagnostic purpose. First, you go for the lobectomy hysterectomy. If it is benign, then okay, it's fine. If it turns to be malignant, then you will go for the complete total thyroidectomy. That is the ultimate procedure and that is needed in the follicular cancer. So the well circumcised lesion that is identified as the follicular neoplasm by the FNAC. For the FNAC, your second step is the lobectomy hysterectomy. If in a scenario you are given 30-40 years old female presented with a solitary nodules on the fine needle aspiration cytology and your report comes follicular neoplasm. Or now the examiner asks you what is your next step. So you are given a certain choices like you are given true cut biopsy, you are given lobectomy only, you are given the hysterectomy only, you are given total thyroidectomy, you are given lobectomy hysterectomy. So among all these things, you will choose as a lobectomy and hysterectomy to make your diet. In certain, there will be a frozen section biopsy. If the word is used frozen section biopsy in these choices, then your choice will be frozen section biopsy because the frozen section is superior as compared to these. If you compare the frozen section biopsy with these procedures, so in frozen section you will able to make the diagnosis within 15 minutes and you will perform accordingly the total thyroidectomy or lobectomy and hysterectomy. So the patient will not get a two anesthesia. There will be no stress on the patients. But in other cases, in lobectomy and hysterectomy, you first go and the patient is waiting for the report for 10 or 15 days, and that is the anxiety period. So what will be the report comes? Either it comes the benign report or it comes the malignant report. So this is the stress periods. And later on, unluckily, if the report is the cancer, so you will go for the second stage, the complete total thyroidectomy, and patient will need the second surgery. So this is the difference between here. No additional surgery is necessary for formal tumor as there is a microvascular follicular carcinoma. So this is the one thing. If your report is comes microinvasive follicular carcinoma, so if the report is microinvasive follicular carcinoma, you will go simple lobectomy, hysterectomy, and follow up the patients. However, total thyroidectomy is necessary for the microinvasive lesions greater than 4 centimeter. This is important. If the size of the tumor is 4 centimeter or more, then even it is the microinvasive condition, you will go for the second surgery for the complete total thyroidectomy. For an invasive follicular cancer greater than 1 centimeter, you will go for the total thyroidectomy. The follicular cancer has propensity to spread by the vascular route and is very limited in the lymphatic spread. So this is the difference between the papillary carcinoma and the follicular carcinoma. As in the diagnosis, there must be a vascular invasion in the follicular cancer. So they are not limited in the cells. That's why they are not diagnosed on the FNAC. So the vascular route is more. So they can reach in the blood and the metastasis go into the bone area, in the clavicle part, in the sternum area, majority cases in the skull area, they may be present as a metastatic disease. The lymphatic spread is very limited. But in the papillary carcinoma and the medullary carcinoma and in the lymphoma, in all those conditions, the more there is involvement of the lymph nodes. So this is about the management of the follicular carcinoma, although the treatment is the total thyroidectomy, but the different ways in which you make a diagnosis. Any question before going to the other condition?
No, sir.
Okay, one question is scan 131 and scan 121. So these are the radioactive iodines, which are 131 is the heavier radioactive iodines and the 121 is the lighter. So the 121 radioactive iodine is usually for the diagnostic purpose. So you have to just do the common scan, that is radioactive 121, and the 131 is the that is used for the therapeutic purpose. Supposedly you need to ablate the tissue in certain condition, like in the Graves disease. If you want to treat the patient as a uh, modality of the radioactive iodine, then it will be 131 radioactive iodine. उस्मान, आपका क्वेश्चन है कोई? उस्मान साहब, आप कुछ पूछना चाह रहे हैं?
मेरी आवाज नहीं निकल रहा हो।
उस्मान साहब, अपना माइक बंद करो। चलो, थैंक यू। तो इस लेक्चर की आप लोगों ने ना अटेंडेंस लगानी है अपने पोर्टल पे, एंड पे जाके ना ये अटेंडेंस आपकी होगी इसमें।
सर अटेंडेंस कैसे लगानी है?
आपने अपने पोर्टल में जाना है, जिस तरह आप पहले अटेंडेंस अपनी लगाते हैं ना रूटीन में, पोर्टल खोल के। आपको
पोर्टल
बताई
का कोई लिंक होगा?
उन्होंने बताई नहीं आपको?
नहीं सर।
आईटी डिपार्टमेंट ने?
नो सर।
हाँ, उन्होंने डेमो मेरे भेजी है आपको। आपने अपने जो पोर्टल है अटेंडेंस वाला, उस पे जाके आपने मार्क करनी है अपनी अटेंडेंस। खोलना, आपने खोलेंगे ना तो उसमें ऑप्शन आती है कि मार्क योर अटेंडेंस। तो वो सब ने अभी आपने ये लेक्चर होता है ना ख़त्म, तो आप लगाएं, उसके बाद फिर वो पहुंच जाएगी हमारे पास, पता चल जाएगा कि कौन से इसमें प्रेजेंट आए हैं। ठीक है, ये इसकी अटेंडेंस की
कल
आपको
के
नोटिफिकेशन
अटेंडेंस कल के
आएंगे।
लेक्चर की नहीं लगी।
जी, अरफात का क्वेश्चन है कि प्रीवियस लेक्चर की वो हो जाएगी अटेंडेंस आपकी, क्योंकि उनके पास ये रिकॉर्ड हो रहा होता है। ये सारा जितना लेक्चर है, इसकी सारी आपकी आईपी एड्रेस वगैरह जितने भी है ना, वो सारे नोट हो रहे होते हैं। तो कौन कितनी देर में वहाँ पे अटैच हुआ है और कितने छोड़ के चला गया, किसने नहीं किया, वो सारा रिकॉर्ड आईपी एड्रेस पे आपका है, वो आपकी हो जाएगी। लेकिन ये ज़रा ईजीएस्ट वे है, इसकी नोटिफिकेशन आपको बाद में मिलेगी, अभी अर्जेंटली मिलेगी। आज आपने अपने पोर्टल में जाके सिर्फ अटेंडेंस जो है ना वो लगानी है, और फिर उसके बाद आपको शो करेंगे। ये आपके पोर्टल में इतनी जल्दी अभी नहीं आएगी जिस तरह के वो प्रीवियस सिस्टम में थी। अभी वो उसको सेव कर रहे हैं, उसके मुताबिक वो आपको भेजेंगे इसकी नोटिफिकेशन, वो कंसिडर हो जाएंगी। बाकी हमें लेक्चर्स का पता, लेकिन आपके वो कंट्रोल में है उनके, ये रिकॉर्ड भी होता है लेक्चर, और आपकी जितनी ये चैट है इसमें भी आती है, और बाकी सबसे ज़्यादा आपकी जो कनेक्टिव हुए होते हैं तो आईपी एड्रेस नोट होते हैं। तो आप मल्टीपल जो ना लेवल से, स्टूडेंट लेवल पे आप इस पे ना हो तो वो फौजी आपकी पकड़ी जाएगी। ठीक है ना, ये मैं आपको बता दूं, आप समझते हो कि 4 से 5 से जो करके तो 2-4 आप दोस्तों की हाजिरी लग जाएगी, वो नहीं होगी आपकी इस तरीके से। ये इसके बारे में आप थोड़ा सा ध्यान करें। तो ये जो डेमो मैं आपको भेज दूंगा, अगर मेरे पास हुई, ये उसामा ने पूछी है, तो अदरवाइज मैं जमीर साहब को कह दूंगा कि वो आपको नोटिफिकेशन में ना उसकी डेमो जो ना वो भेज दे कि किस तरीके से अटेंडेंस आपने लगानी है। ठीक है, सो द नेक्स्ट situation is the medullary cancer. So you know the medullary cancer is not related to the thyroid. Basically, it takes an origin from the C cells. And what is the origin of the C cells? These C cells are the parafollicular cells. And and they are attached with the main tissue of the thyroid. They comes from the neurocrest cells, ultimobranchial bodies, so the pharyngeal fourth pharyngeal pouch, वहाँ से ये आते हैं, तो उसके साथ ये बनाते हैं. So they have a different entity than the other thyroid glands. Although they are part of the thyroid gland, so they take origin from the C cells. So this is the medullary cancer. The medullary cancer has only 5 to 10% of all the thyroid cancer. There are two forms. One is the 80% the sporadic, and there is no familial element. And the 20% they are familial. They are associated with the different men syndromes. So जिसमें वो पैराथायरॉयडिनोमा, एडिनोमा, पिट्यूटरी ट्यूमर्स की different ratios आती हैं, man 1, man 2. So they are involved there as a medullary. So the majority they are 80% sporadic. So the histologically tumors features are hyperplasia of the C cells, that is the parafollicular as we have discussed, and with the amyloid elements. And this amyloid element, if on the FNAC, in the previous lecture we have discussed about the amyloid. If the amyloids comes in the histopathology, so your diagnosis definitely is the medullary cancers. So the management of these tumor is based on the total thyroidectomy. There is no role of any lobectomy, hysterectomy in the medullary cancer. So in this scenario, if you are given about the medullary cancer, your treatment is the total thyroidectomy plus neck dissection, because usually there are lymph node involvement is present on the neck, and you will go for the neck dissection. If in the one best choice of the cancer, especially they are asked about the medullary cancers, so your option will be always total thyroidectomy with the neck dissection. ये ज़हन में रखें, ये इसका one best आ जाता है. So in case of patient with MEN2 type, जिसमें usually presenting diagnostic pathology है, the central neck compartment frequently involved, and the lateral neck dissection is necessary for clinical suspicion of the large primary lesions. So in all these conditions, just remember you need neck dissection, either in the radical, if the 1 to 5 they are involved, radical neck dissection, they are mandatory. And the metastasis, again the metastasis of the medullary, they go into the lungs, usually they go into the liver. These are the main two, and sometimes in the bone. And there is no role of the chemotherapy and the radiotherapy in the medullary carcinoma. Even the metastasis is present in the lungs or the livers in two conditions. Usually these are the sites. If the lesion is in the one side, the lobe of the lungs or in the liver, you have to go for the surgery. You have to excise the part of the liver with the meds, or the part of the lungs with the meds. Otherwise, there is no role of any chemo radiotherapy in medullary carcinoma. So this is the very worst condition of the medullary cancers. So the other is the undifferentiated. This is also called the anaplastic. Anaplastic means the cells cannot be differentiated of FNAC. Like we has a papilla, we have a follicle in the FNAC. But here, at the start, the cells, they are anaplastic, they are undifferentiated. So this is the usually advanced type of the malignancy, and surgical options are very limited. Why the surgical options are limited? Because they are attached with the trachea, the esophagus, and the recurrent laryngeal nerves. You cannot separate easily from it. If you want to try to remove it, you will damage all the structure. So the surgery has, in the late stage, no role at all. And sometimes from the trachea you can remove a safely in the initial stage, early stage, but less likely. In the exam, whenever you will find a scenario, that is the advanced stage. So you will not opt any surgical intervention. Sometimes it has a pressure effect of the trachea, then you remove the area of the isthmus from the part of the trachea to remove it, to make your diagnosis. And diagnosis and may be made on the FNSE. So the treatment in this condition is only radiotherapy or the chemotherapy. These are the two options which are, but the patient don't survive so much. They have a difficulty. So what involved in the post-operative management of the falling cancer, as we have discussed? So the prognosis in the papillary cancer depend on the several significant variables. One prognostic method use scale that age of the patient younger than 40 years versus the old age. The pathological grade of important, the extent of the disease is important, and the size of the tumor is important. So mnemonic जो ना एजेस के हिसाब से याद रखें तो ये इसकी प्रोग्नोसिस बनती है. Low risk patients are young and have a well differentiated tumor with no metastasis. Another method involves the MSCI scale, distant metastasis, age at the presentation, completeness of the resection, extrathyroidal invasion, and the size of the mass, which considers two additional factors. ये कुछ यूज हमारे यहाँ नहीं होते, अमेरिकन में इस क्राइटेरिया को यूज करते हैं. Survival in low risk patient is as high 100% at 10 years, very good survival rate. Whereas survival in the high risk patient is as low 20% at the 10 years. Majority patients present early and they have a good, I have seen many patients, they are totally cured. For the last 20 years, they are operated and they are totally fine with the papillary carcinoma. Excellent prognosis in the papillary. There is ongoing debate concerning the use of the lobectomy and versus, as we have discussed. ये आपका कंसर्न नहीं है, ये सारा हमने डिस्कस कर लिया था. Now the follicular cancer, many of the prognostic factors in the follicular cancer are similar to those of the papillary. In addition to the presence of vascular invasion worsen the prognosis. If they are more than the microvascular invasion, the prognosis is poor. Survival is 80% for the favorable lesions and 60% for the unfavorable lesions at the 40 years. And post-operative adjuvant therapy is, as we have discussed, 131 ablation treatment and the ablation of the residual thyroid, ये हमने डिस्कस किया था. थायरोग्लोबुलिन लेवल के साथ हम करते हैं, इसमें नहीं है. और मेडलरी में क्या है? Radioactive iodine suppression post-operatively not useful, as I told you. The only surgery is admitted. उसकी reason क्या है? Why? Because the tumor arises from the C cell. So C cell is not taking any iodine. The radioactive iodine is only taken by the thyroid tissue, जिसमें T3, T4 हार्मोन्स बनते हैं, उसमें आयोडीन की अपटेक होती है. मेडलरी सेल, दे आर C cells, they are not taking any आयोडीन, जो आयोडीन लेते ही हैं, इसलिए उसमें इसका कोई रोल नहीं है. Some centers use the external irradiation post-operatively for advanced cases, although benefit of this therapy is unproven. So there is no role of the radiotherapy or the chemotherapy in medullary cancer. Prognosis related to the extent of the disease with overall survival 80% at 10 years, but less than 40% for the lymph node involvements. And patient may be monitored by measuring serum calcitonin and CEA level. These are the two tumor markers. If you are asked about the tumor marker of the medullary cancer, they are serum calcitonin and CEA level. If you are asked about the tumor marker of the papillary and follicular, those are the thyroglobulin levels. तो ये ट्यूमर मार्कर्स आप याद करें. और ये लेक्चर मैंने आपको भेजा भी हुआ है. इसमें स्पेशली जो प्रोग्नोसिस जो लिखी हुई है ना 80%, जो 40%, जो 60, 100%, तो ये समटाइम्स एग्जाम में आ जाती हैं और एग्जामिनर पूछ भी लेते हैं, तो उनको आप ना याद कर लें. Lastly, cancer, anaplastic cancer, which constitute only 5% of all the thyroid cancer, has peak incidence in 7th decade. यानी ओल्ड एज के हैं, ये ओल्ड एज में जाके ये आते हैं. 50% worsen with the positive nodes. So it means the node positive are in the papillary, follicular, एंड द अनडिफरेंशिएटेड कैंसर, इनमें लिम्फ नोड पॉजिटिव आ जाते हैं। 30% patient present with the distant metastasis. The lungs has been the most common site of distant metastasis. In undifferentiated में lungs में ये ज़्यादा जाते हैं. Prognosis very poor. However, multi-modality pre and post operative chemotherapy radiation are. So it means the undifferentiated में आपकी जो treatment है, otherwise prognosis नहीं है, वो radiotherapy है और कीमोथेरेपी। तो लास्टली जो आपका थायराइड का कैंसर है वो लिम्फोमा है। लिम्फोमा कैन अकर एनीवेयर इन द बॉडी, सो इट कैन नॉट स्पेयर द थायराइड। तो लिम्फोमा में आपकी वैसे ही ट्रीटमेंट जो है वो रेडियोथेरेपी एंड कीमोथेरेपी, देयर इज नो सर्जिकल। सो इट मीन्स इन अनडिफरेंशिएटेड कैंसर, इन द लिम्फोमा देयर इज नो रोल ऑफ द surgery. In the medullary cancer, there is no role of the radio and chemotherapy, but there is a role of the surgery. You go for the total thyroidectomy and neck dissection. In the papillary carcinoma, the surgery is only surgery, no chemo. Later on, you can go for the radioactive iodine. The radioactive iodine is only effective for the papillary and follicular carcinoma, not for other thyroid cancers, remember. So these are the different things, the knowledge which are checked in your SCQs or in the one best choice. आपको डिफरेंट स्टाइल से, तरीके से वन बेस्ट दिए जाते हैं और उसमें ये वाला बेसिक नॉलेज जो है, जो पॉइंट्स, की पॉइंट्स होते हैं, वो इसमें पूछे जाते हैं। इसलिए बी केयरफुल व्हेन यू आर पिकिंग दीज थिंग्स। तो जब भी आप बुक्स में पढ़ें तो इन चीज़ों पे आप कंसंट्रेट ज़्यादा करें, अपने पॉइंट्स पे, तो तब आपका एक नॉलेज उसके हिसाब से होना चाहिए। अगर यहाँ पे आप कोई क्वेश्चन है तो देख लें, और अपनी अटेंडेंस जो है अगर कुछ समझ आ रही है तो पोर्टल खोल के तो वहाँ पे आप अपनी मार्क करें अभी, ठीक है। अगर कोई क्वेश्चन है तो अभी पूछ लें आप।
सर ये पोर्टल नोटिफिकेशन में होगा, मतलब वहां पे आईडी वाले अपलोड करेंगे लिंक पोर्टल का?
ये आपके आएगा अटेंडेंस वाले में। आप अटेंडेंस खोलेंगे ना तो आज का जो वहाँ पे ना मेंशन हो रहा होगा अपना लेक्चर, इसका टाइम आ रहा होगा, ठीक है।
अच्छा,
तो अटेंडेंस
जी
वाले
ठीक,
पोर्टल में आप जाएंगे, आज की अटेंडेंस का मार्क अटेंडेंस,
ठीक है सर,
तो मार्क
ठीक है सर।
अटेंडेंस में आप अपने मार्क अटेंडेंस में कर देंगे, वो हमारे पास आ जाएगी कि ये हमने किस तरीके पे लिया। ये वर्चुअल है, वो साइड पे आता होता है कि ये वर्चुअल लेक्चर है ऑनलाइन, तो वो आपने उसको सिलेक्ट करना है।
ओके ठीक है सर, थैंक यू सो मच।
ये आपने सारे ना मार्क कर लें आप। ये थंब साइन आ रहा है ना, उसको क्लिक करना है आपने। वहां पे एक थंब का साइन आ रहा है तो उसको आपने करना है। आमना का क्वेश्चन है कि फ्रोजन सेक्शन शुड बी यूज्ड फॉर फॉलिकुलर कार्सिनोमा डायग्नोसिस, व्हाई नीड एफएनएसी एट ऑल। आपको फ्रोजन सेक्शन हर एक के लिए ना होता, फ्रोजन सेक्शन की एक तो फैसिलिटीज नहीं होती, यू कांट डू फ्रोजन सेक्शन इन एवरी केसेस। तो आप जब आपके पास सॉलिटरी नोड्यूल आया तो द फर्स्ट यू विल गो फॉर द एफएनएसी फॉर एवरी टाइप ऑफ द सॉलिटरी नोड्यूल। जो सॉलिटरी नोड्यूल होगा उसके लिए फर्स्ट तो आप एफएनएसी पे जाएंगे ना। अब एफएनएसी आपको डिसाइड करेगा कि आपका रूट कौन सा है। तो चार कैंसर जो हैं, पेपिलरी हैं, मेडुलरी हैं, एनाप्लास्टिक एंड लिम्फोमा, दे आर डायग्नोस्ड। लेकिन जो फॉलिकुलर है वो एफएनएसी पे आपको शो करेगा फॉलिकुलर न्यूप्लाज्म, यानी आपकी मैलिग्नेंसी रूल आउट नहीं करेगा। उसमें दोनों कंडीशन हो सकती हैं, इट इज दी बिनाइन फॉलिकुलर एडिनोमा और फॉलिकुलर मैलिग्नेंसी। अब दोनों पे आपकी टाइप पड़ गई है, इसलिए आप इसके लिए आप अरेंज कर सकते हैं फ्रोजन सेक्शन अगर आपका फॉलिकुलर न्यूप्लाज्म, नॉट फॉर द पेपिलरी और अदर थायराइड कैंसर। तो जब आप उसमें फ्रोजन में जाएंगे तो इवन देन यू विल डू दी लोबेक्टमी हिस्टेक्टमी। लोबेक्टमी हिस्टेक्टमी का पूरा स्पेसिमेन आप हिस्टोपैथोलॉजी के पास भेजेंगे, ऑन टेलीफोन टॉक आपको 15 मिनट में फ्रोजन सेक्शन बना के वो बता देंगे कि ये कैंसर है या ये बिनाइन कंडीशन है। अगर बिनाइन है तो आपका प्रोसीजर कंप्लीट हो गया। अगर ये मेलिग्नेंसी आ गई है तो फिर आप उसी टाइम पे थिएटर के अंदर उस रिपोर्ट को ऑन टेलीफोनिक रिपोर्ट पे आप टोटल थायराइडेक्टमी कर देंगे। तो इसमें पेशेंट का ये टाइम जो है वो बचत हो जाती है। लेकिन जो फ्रोजन सेक्शन की बायोप्सी में भी कुछ फैलिसीज हैं कि 100% डायग्नोसिस बनाना समटाइम्स डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है। तो इसलिए फिर टोटल लोबेक्टमी का स्पेसिमेन भेज, इवन आपने फ्रोजन सेक्शन कर भी ली है और लेटर ऑन आपने स्पेसिमेन उसी स्पेसिमेन पे रूटीन की हिस्टोपैथोलॉजी भी वो करते हैं। तो अगर रूटीन की हिस्टोपैथोलॉजी में बिनाइन आ गया तो फिर आपका प्रोसीजर ठीक था, कंप्लीट हो गया। अगर फिर भी वो मेलिग्नेंसी आ गई तो आप जो है ना उसके लिए कंप्लीशन जो है ना टोटल थायराइडेक्टमी के लिए जाएंगे। तो अगर यहाँ पे भी अगर क्यूरीज है तो आप पूछ लें। आमना समझ आ गई आमना आपको? अटेंडेंस अपनी बच्चे लगा दें आप सारी, ठीक है? ठीक है, हम यहाँ पे फिनिश करते हैं। ओके, अल्लाह हाफिज़।
Excuse me, sir.